how to find an artist manager? Well, this is the question that many people ask if they have an artist, side in their life, or is it, let's say, maybe they are musicians, or it's just basically they want to find out how to find a right coach and a right manager to help them to put their idea and their passion to actually something sustainable or make it a business. So that's why today we are talking to an artist manager or an artist coach just to bring those details to you. Hi, my name is Helia Singh. I'm a wealth coach and I help people to fast track to financial freedom as soon as they want. Okay, and today I would like to introduce you to one of my beautiful friends. She is an artist coach and musician coach, and she can help you to really put that music which is inside you, put it out there to the world and be heard. I think that's a great gift. So to be able to have someone to help you to bring that inner music outside to the world. And yes, we are here, and I would like to invite my beautiful friend, Kate Westwood. So please, Kate, thank you very much for being here and giving your time. I know you just came back from your beautiful trip from Europe, and being here just means a lot. Thanks for being here. How are you doing?
Oh, Helia, it's so lovely to connect with you. And can I just say your hair is amazing. I love it. Oh, fabulous. I'm so glad to be here. And yes, I had kind of end of last year a wonderful trip over to the UK, and I went to Paris. That's always fun to do. Always fun. It was my first time. But yeah, I'm so excited just to chat. I love speaking with people who have different perspectives and different ideas. That's how we learn and grow, right? Is by exposing ourselves to other ideas and other ways of doing things. So yeah, I'm so stoked to chat with you.
Appreciate that. So tell me about it. I mean, if what you do, is it you're helping the existing musicians, or is it someone, let's say, in school, in high school, they know that they've got a bit of things in music, but they are not sure, they want to explore it. How does it work?
Absolutely. Well, if I give a bit of background, previously to the last 10 years or so in the music industry, most people who had a career had to have a label that signed on to them, because before digital music happened, there was CD stores and physical music, and you had to have a lot of financial support to be able to actually reach people across the world. Fast forward now to this digital world. Now anyone can release music online or on Apple Music, on Spotify, can connect with people across the world. So Helia, next week, if you wanted to, you could release a song on Spotify. It doesn't even have to be good. It can just be anything that you want to do. The access for anyone in the world now, because of digital music and online distribution and streaming, means that anyone who ever thought, oh, I'd love to release music, I can do it. So it's absolutely amazing. We're not reliant on a label to do all the work for us now. We can, for very little money, reach anyone in the world with our music, with our art, which is amazing, right? But then there's always a flip side. And the flip side is now we have hundreds of thousands of people wanting to have a music career, release music, but there's very little quality control. There's very little know-how and understanding actually about the music business, and even small business, and how to create a product and sell it and find customers, all that kind of stuff. And then also that level of what makes a good song, what is good production. Now that you can do it in your bedroom, there's a big difference between the high quality Ed Sheerans and Taylor Swifts of the world and, the bedroom musician that a lot of people are. So as you can see, there's a big change in the industry, but what that also means is that it does present some challenges if people actually want their music to get heard, even though now the whole world can hear it, but it's actually very few people that do, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and that can be really overwhelming for most people who want to give this a go. So hopefully there's a bit of a background into some of the joys and challenges that artists are facing. And so what I decided to do was, I want to be able to help people at the early stages of their career. So not when they're, doing lots of festivals and releasing lots of music, but way before then, when they're just releasing their first song. Maybe they want to start doing some live shows, or maybe I've got a couple of clients who are mums of teenagers who've wanted to do music, had to put that on the back burner because they were taking care of their family. But maybe now they're 40 or 45 and they were like, no, now it's my turn. And so they think, how do I restart this dream that I had many years ago? So really what I do is help independent, that's what that means, so they don't have a label backing, artists to figure out how to navigate the industry at these really early stages.
Wow, that's amazing to help people to, in that journey to finally put what is inside them back to the world. Yeah, this is great. So is this only for people who know how to play instrument, or is it just for the songwriters? How do you work with that? Or for my audience, sake, so if they want to know about that.
Yeah, great question. Absolutely. Well, I think the concepts are the same no matter what art you're creating, whether you are making earrings or actually painting. Like the idea of, I have a product and I need to know how to actually get it out there in the world and find customers. And so whether you're a musician or an actual artist, like a singer-songwriter or someone who's just writing, the concepts are the same. It's about, you have a product and you want to find the right network and community to help you create that. And then leading them into, actually finding either, for example, if you're a songwriter, finding another artist who will sing your song, or if you're a musician, finding a place where you can, someone that you can play with, maybe joining their band, or being a session musician for other people in recording sessions. Or if you're an artist, actually, I've got this music that I've created. How do I get that out into the world? So there is room for anyone in the sphere who wants to figure out the industry, because that's the hardest thing. As I said at the beginning, it is totally different than what we've got in our mind of what the music industry used to be. But I think for some reason, we still have the same expectation that if I just put music out there, then it will go somewhere and people will hear it. But it's just not the case, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. True. Well, this is interesting. So how is it your coaching sessions with people? How do you help them? How long does it take? Is there any specific program that you have, take them through it? So is it three months or 6 months, or how does it working with you?
Great question. I think every artist's needs are different, and some artists come to me and they've never written a song, they've never done a performance, and other artists come to me with an album that they've just released and a tour they've already organized. And so I have to cater a little bit to where they're at the moment. But what I have is an online course called the Virtual Music Manager. So it's a monthly kind of membership, but all the artists that work with me, they get all the brain information, all my industry knowledge in a kind of on-demand training that's going to help them in the background. But in our one-on-one chats, we start with, what are your goals? We have to figure out where they're going. I use an analogy that most people go, oh, I totally get that. The analogy of the music industry is like shooting an arrow in the dark, hoping to hit a target, but you have no idea what the target is, where it is, or even if you've come anywhere near close to actually hitting that, which can be really overwhelming and disappointing, because you try everything, but you just don't seem to get anywhere. And I say that part of my job as a coach is to switch the light on. So now we go, okay, you were shooting over there, but once we've discovered what your goals are, actually your goals are over here. So now let's work together so that we're spending your time, your energy, and your money on the things you actually want to reach, rather than just what everyone else is doing. So we definitely start with goals, and then we really look at the why and the timeline, about when you want to do those things, what else is going on in your life. Of course, you don't want to release an album the same time you're moving house or going on holiday or having a baby. You want to make sure that these goals that you have fit into the cadence of your life. But then we work together to set up the important aspects towards that goal. So let's say that artist who's about to release an album, we probably need to start with their PR, which means we need to look at their bio and their press release and their press kit and look at their budget. Whereas if someone who is just getting started, we'd most likely start with social media, email lists, and getting ready for building of their business foundations before. We don't need to get started with PR because they're not ready to release anything yet. So it is really customizable, but it all starts with those goals. If you don't know your target, you're going to waste your time and your energy and your money on just a lot of crazy things. And I've seen a lot of people spend $5,000 on a video clip because that's what they think they're meant to do. And I think, well, I mean, that was fun, but it has very little return on investment in their actual career, especially at this kind of early stage level. So I love talking about goals. I'm very goal oriented, and it makes sense for so many people. I see the lights turn on. Oh, yes, I have just been trying all these things and it's not equaling anything. And I never really thought about what I wanted to achieve. And now I actually feel like I can actually get there. And so that's always so exciting to me when people realize, oh, we can do this. This is achievable. This is doable. That makes me happy as a coach and as a musician as well, to go, yes, we can. There is room for you at the table. There's room for your music. You're not trying to get 1 million fans. You just need 1,000. And then you can actually have something that is sustainable and enjoyable for you and for your family.
Great. That makes sense. Absolutely. I'm 100% with you there that yes, it doesn't matter what the goal is. You need to find out and then work out from there. Many people, they start from different area. So, and then by the time they reach out, even if they reach to whatever they thought is their goal, and say, oh, why they don't get the satisfaction? Just because it wasn't their goal at the first place. And yes, in this day and age, just to be heard or to put that, effort and, being seen amongst all other things that we are exposed to on a daily basis, it's just putting so much money into it just to be seen. But then if there is no goals, there is no proper planning behind it, it's absolutely a waste of money. But yes, I'm glad that you are working with a committed musician, someone who really wants to be seen and they want to use this as a career and treat it as a business, not just somebody that, let's say I'm a mom and I'll do something else and every now and then I'll write a song for myself. So yeah, maybe if I want somebody to sing that song, so that's different rather than making it as an absolutely business.
Yeah.
And we know good musicians, they make good bucks. That's the reality. But on the other hand, there are so many who are struggling so much.
Yeah. I think on that, Helia, what I do work to help the artists or the people that I talk with understand is this just a sense of wanting to express myself in this way? Because I don't ever want to start with art as a commodity, because as human beings, we are creative. And I want to help people figure out songwriting and music is a great way to express yourself, to process the things that you're going through. It's a wonderful cathartic moment, but it doesn't always have to equal a product. And so some people start off and they only ever stay in that space of just creation for the sake of that. Maybe it's just for their kids or it's just a part of that processing, but it doesn't have to equal something that is a commodity or a product. And so I want to highlight the value of like honoring that. But then we can realize, well, if you want it to equal a product, then this is the work you need to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be constantly disappointed because you're doing all this expressing and then wondering why nobody's interested. It's because you haven't thought about yourself as a business. And so it's helping to people understand the point in which they shift from, just personal expression, hobby, enjoyment of something to actually, okay, I want this to become something. Now there's a different amount of attention and effort and finance and support and help that you need if you want it to equal a business. So yeah, I help people to realize that. Some people have said, you know what, I'm just going to do this because I love it, not because I want it to equal anything. And that's a great result. And that's a good thing to do.
Absolutely, yeah. If we are clear what we want to achieve in life, so then yeah, we can focus our, thoughts, our actions towards that, and without disappointment, without expectations. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Really great. So how my audience can reach out to you? That's the obviously it's a
Great question.
question.
Well, yeah, if you're interested in any of that, or even if you're a small creative business and wanting to figure out how do I, get customers, how do I set up an email list, how do I approach social media, you can find me on all social media platforms. It's just at Westwood Management. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube as well is at Westwood Management. I provide a lot of free training and resources because I know that getting started, you're not earning anything. You're probably putting thousands of dollars into it. You're not earning anything. And so I provide a lot of great checklists and tips about how to approach social media, how to, release your music, that kind of thing. But then, of course, I do have some online courses and then one-on-one coaching that I do with artists who are ready to really put in the work, who've decided they want to take it from a hobby to actually being a thing. Then there's a range of options that I have, but everything's at Westwood Management, or my website is westwoodmgmt.com.au.
Thank you so much, Kate. Anyway, we put all your details and bio in the caption, so for our audience to read and enjoy and get in touch with you. So now to my beautiful audience, if you've got a bit of music inside you that you always wanted to be heard, and you didn't know how to start, so at least have a chat with Kate. So whether you want to keep it as a hobby or just take it to the next level, it's just the main thing is just put it out there, and you never know what's going to be the outcome. So let's find out, and just by contacting Kate and find out more about the deals and how you could do it further. Thanks again so much, Kate, for being here and sharing your knowledge with my audience. I really loved it because we don't have that many coaches in this area that you are working. So it's just for people to really realize that it can be more than just hobby, or how to make it a business. So it's important to have that rather than just going for, because people usually go for a typical musician or managers. So just before we go, what's the difference between those managers and what you do?
Great question. I mean, I could talk about the stuff for hours. We won't do that, obviously. Yeah. I think the major difference between what I do and your traditional management is traditional managers work on a percentage, which means that they when they get you gigs or opportunities, or they're part of getting income for your career, they earn a percentage, which is wonderful. They should get paid for what they do. And without going into it, I think, that artist managers should get paid a lot more than they do. But that means that they're looking for people who are already earning probably more than $2,000 a month from their music. So not from their other job that they work at in accounts, and then, because you can't earn a percentage of nothing. And so that means that there's probably 95% of artists that want help are not getting it, because managers are really wanting to work with people who are already earning a good amount of money every month. And so that means that artists actually need help and support. They need people on their team, but they're not finding someone. And actually, there's just not enough managers anyway for everyone who would want one. So I decided that I would provide free training, free resources, and also work on a flat fee. So everything that I do is a monthly amount. And so it doesn't have to come from your music. It can come from your accounting job or working at Woolworths. And that way you can get the support that you need, even while you're still building that revenue from your music. So that's kind of how I work in a different way from traditional management.
I really love that. So you found the niche there. You found that people are struggling there. There is a gap, absolutely a big gap, which obviously manager cannot fill that gap, because obviously they need to have the earnings for their life. So, and now you are filling that gap by lending your knowledge, your skills, and helping those who are in the early stage to find out more if this is for them. I really love that.
Doing my best. Wanting to be the change I want to see in the world, Healy, because I'm an artist too. And I was like, managers, I wouldn't work with myself because I'm not earning enough money. So I decided I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see in the world. And so that's why I run Westwood Management the way that I do.
kudos to you. And yes, for all the difference maker out there who just want to make the life and the world better for everyone. Really appreciate again your time. And I'm sure many of my audience will reach out to you to find out themselves. Thanks again, Kate. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks, everyone. Bye.